Fed just lowered interest rates. Now what? Hey everyone, it's Mortgage Mel and it's time for today's Mortgage Minute. What happens to mortgage interest rates when the Fed changes rates for US prime? The answer is a little more complicated than it's just an automatic reaction. Mortgage-backed securities, the mortgage bond market in general, react to things that happen in the financial markets, but they react differently than you might think. It's more an overall reaction to what's happening in general markets. So it could be related to the jobs numbers, or it could be related to US prime being dropped or raised, right? We could have some adjustment. But I want you to think about this. US prime this morning was 8.5, and the 30-year fixed mortgage rate was about 6.15. Okay? That's not the same, right? So it's clear that the mortgage rates aren't exactly what US prime is. It's just a gauge and a tool that the Fed uses. And as they lower the rates, so do yields for things like bonds. So do yields for things like your savings account and your interest for your savings account and CDs and things like that. But overall, there is a general reaction. Now, I'm watching this live, and it is 2:11 p.m. Central Standard Time, and they did this about an hour ago, and my numbers are still red. The 30-year fixed is still 6.15. The 15-year fixed is 5.65. It really hasn't changed yet. So I am watching for many of my clients because I know that they want to refinance, and I'm watching to make sure if those rates do go down, we can jump on it right away. But it just doesn't work quite as quickly or as directly as you might expect. And one last quick point is that I think that the rates have actually already responded in anticipation of this. And so we already saw the rates lowering pretty consistently over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And as that was happening, I believe it was based on the anticipation of the Fed cutting the rates. And nobody was sure whether it was going to be a 1/4 point or a 1/2 point, but we were pretty sure that something was going to happen. And I think the mortgage-backed securities were already reacting to that. So I'm not sure that we're going to see quite as much movement as everyone is hoping for in regards to mortgage rates. That said, I think the overall forecast is pretty good. I do think they're going to come down a little bit more. I think we're going to see the 5s maybe by the end of this year, maybe early next year. And I do think things are going to improve. I also know we have an election coming, and that is going to affect what happens overall. So these are just my best guesses, but I hope that gives you a little bit better idea of how this all works. And if you are interested in a more deeper dive, I'll try and take a deeper dive for us, and we'll go into more detail in another video. I hope you guys have a great day. If you like this content, give me a like and a follow, and enjoy.